Now it is time to get into the gist of things and start with the program of the day. I would request all of us to can rise as we are about to sing the national anthem of the Republic of South Africa. Thank you. Okay, but before we start with the national anthem, I would kindly like to request all the members in uniform, we know the protocol, we will salute while we're singing the national anthem, males. And of course, those who are wearing hats, civilians, please, males, remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem. And of course, I would kindly like to request that there's no movement while we are singing the national anthem. Yes, we can start. Thank you very much. We may be seated. My generals, Prof, I must say yesterday we had a successful kickstart to our program where we had to dissect various issues pertaining to what we came here for. And of course, today we are sealing the deal. We are ensuring that this will be a kickstart to a great partnership. And of course, we know that as the SAPS, we don't work alone, we work with other stakeholders. You are welcome once again. But just to get into the gist of the program, I would kindly like to call Pastor Maema to can set the tone and of course, start this program with a scripture reading and of course, a prayer. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you, Program Director. Let me start by observing the protocol and greet the generals and all my seniors and everyone in the hall. May you be greeted. Let me start by reading a portion of scripture from the book of Numbers, and chapter 13, and I will be reading verse 30. Numbers chapter 13, verse 30. It reads as follows. It says, and Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. Let me repeat the scripture. It says, and Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are able to overcome it. Let me put an umbrella to what I'm going to speak about today, this morning, as I open, and ask a question. Will you reach your destiny? That will be the question that needs to be answered. Will you reach your destiny? Why am I putting this question before us? The question comes before us because this man Caleb was one of the spies who went to Canaan and spied the land. And as he spies the land, then they came back with a report. And the report was either negative or positive. But he let the people who were there to speak first. You know, sometimes it happens when you go with the crowd will say something else. But when you go with boldness of alone, of a winning mentality, the winning mentality will say something else. And then when you go and then you put on the pressure, sometimes the pressure might not work for you. But when you go and you put on the wisdom will work for you. Here we find this man, he says, let us go up at once. And before that, he said he silenced the people. You know, the crowd sometimes make noise. And then when it make noise, it needs somebody who is sensible to can put forth a wisdom of a word to say this is. There are those people who are say this is impossible, but there are those 1, 2 who will say this is possible. One of them, it was Caleb, to say this is possible, because when they reached Canaan, they saw that there are giants there, and then they compare themselves as if they were ants. But even if you demean yourself to that extent. So these people, the crowd demean themselves to a certain extent that we won't win. But there are people who are having a mentality that is willing to say, let us go up at once. Like we are here, we say, let us go up at once, we will win. But the crowd will never win. But an individual will win. And because he said this word, they went at once. At the end of the story, they won the Canaan. Canaan was under them. Canaan was fallen, and they win, and they enjoy the honey that was in Canaan. They enjoy the milk that was in Canaan. It happens that sometimes we drag feet when we are supposed to be in our success, when we are supposed to be in our destiny. And the moment you drag your feet and you let even other people to drag the feet with you, we will never win. But once we put this wisdom, we secure our steps to say we step towards our goal, we step towards our destiny, we step towards our success, we will win. And even to them say, Caleb won, and we can win again. Let me pray for you. Let me pray for you. Father, we thank you. Father, we bless you. Father, we honor you. Father, we glorify you. Once more, again, we gather before the presence and the glorious presence. Here are the members from different stakeholders. We need your presence and we need your wisdom. We need a breakthrough out of this. If you have given Caleb a breakthrough to win Canaan, even today, we believe that you are still going to give us a breakthrough to win whatever that is ahead of us. We pray as we pray for this session to be a successful one. We pray in the name of Jesus, and we thank you and bless you. Amen. Thank you, General. Thank you, General.
Can we give a round of applause? Chaplain, we will win against gender-based imbalances. We will win against crime in South Africa. And here at SMU, we will win against being the highly recommended and the most best health sciences university the country has. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, safety and security in our university, we take it very highly. It is my honor to introduce the Deputy Vice Chancellor Operations of Sefako Makgatho Health Sciences University, Ms. Odette Ramsing. Ms. Ramsing provides strategic leadership and oversight for the university's operational functions, ensuring that our system, infrastructures, and support services are aligned with the institution's vision of delivering a world-class health sciences education that is both locally relevant and globally recognized. Her leadership in various portfolios has been instrumental in strengthening the university's operational excellence, and in creating an enabling environment for teaching, learning, research, and community engagement. Please join me in welcoming Deputy Vice Chancellor Operations, Ms. Odette Ramsing.
A slight correction, Program Director. We're the best health sciences university on the continent and not just in South Africa. Good morning, program directors, our Vice Chancellor. Good morning also to the Provincial Commissioner, Mr. Lieutenant General Mtombeni, our Divisional Commissioner. Good morning to you, to all the brigadiers, the colonels, and all the members of the men and women in blue. We're really honored to have you here in our presence, on our campus, and to partner with us. So you're most welcome here today. Officials of the Department of Higher Education, you are welcome. SMU management, employees, and students, you are also most welcome. Although I will speak to my team, I'm a little disappointed in terms of attendance, but it's not a time for today to address that. And lastly, all protocols observed. Today we are proud as the university to be part of this inaugural launch of the Campus and Community Safety Forum. It talks loud and proud to our institutional commitment as the SMU community to uphold the highest safety standards on campus and to ensure zero tolerance for gender-based violence and for femicide. Our academic project is key to our vision and mission. As SMU, we remain resolute in our drive towards academic excellence and leading healthcare solutions that will benefit not only ourselves, but our families, our communities, and South Africa generally. Therefore, safety is a core enabler of teaching, research, and student success. We believe we cannot pursue excellence in a culture of harassment, of fear, of intimidation, and most especially of violence. Gender-based violence remains a critical challenge within the university community, and it necessitates a sustained and strengthened effort to combat this pervasive issue. The university recognizes the urgency of reinforcing its commitment to fostering a safe and inclusive environment for all its members. And we are informed by the 2020 Department of Higher Education policy framework to address GBV on our campus. The university has adopted a survivor-centered approach that ensures no victimization of survivors from the moment of reporting through to case closure. I'm sure yesterday SMU speakers informed you about our solid policy framework, how we've evolved over time to ensure we ensure that there's no discrimination of any kind within our university. And that harassment is in the form of general harassment, ethnic harassment, emotional and psychological harassment, and we strive to foster a more inclusive and safer environment for everyone at SMU. However, we're very aware that we cannot just do this by policy alone, and that we require the involvement of stakeholders across the board. So it's therefore not surprising that today we're in the company of the South African Police Service, the custodians of safety and security in our country, and we are now holding hands with you to ensure that we leverage from your expertise, we share best practice, and we align with national standards on prevention and intervention. I'm also aware that our colleague, Mr. Andri Seteke, as head of security, and the rest of the security team have a good working relationship with the local SAPS community, as together we promote safety and prevention. We are especially aware of the vulnerability of our students and the need to ensure the necessary protection, and we are proud of the initiatives we have put in place and continue to put in place to ensure the safety of students and employees. Our security team work tirelessly in discharging their duties to ensure a safe and secure campus and promote their motto of working together for a safer campus. So well done, Mr. Sateka and the rest of your team as you continue to keep us safe. It is on this note that I officially open the launch of the Campus Community Safety Forum and wish the forum the very best as it deliberates on the work ahead. Please be assured that of SMU's commitment to your work and to your efforts as we join hands to make SMU a safer and a better place for all, where the campus becomes a model of a safe, inclusive, and resilient academic environment. In closing, I do want to extend my thanks to Mr. Sateka and his security team for their drive and efforts in getting us to this point. To the HR team, especially the acting GBV manager, Mr. Busi, for passionately putting an anti-GBV intervention on the map. And of course, to Ms. Shima and the communications and marketing team for capturing this event and highlighting its importance. May today be the beginning of great things as we join hands in our quest for safer spaces on our campus and in our community. And I cannot end, ladies and gentlemen, without saying I would like to also extend best wishes to the Mlanga Commission as it continues its work in the country in terms of accountability, responsibility, and safety for all. Thank you.
Let us give the acting Vice Chancellor another round of applause. I must say, after that warm welcome, I had to stretch my legs. I feel at home. And as it is, to those who have worked tirelessly to make sure that this event becomes a success, they have done a stellar job. And let's give them a round of applause. Well, my seniors, I can attest to the fact that we are here to instill a culture of reporting crime. And of course, to cap the scourge of crime and increase partnership not only with Sefako Makhado, but other universities, and give our students a trust to can come to us and work with us in reporting crime. We thank you very much for that. But without any waste of time, we will proceed with the program of the day. And the next speaker will be giving us the purpose of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome Lieutenant General Mamuteti to give us the purpose of the day. Let's give her a round of applause.
A little bit shorter for sure. Thank you very much, program directors, and let me start with the greetings and acknowledgement to the Vice Chancellor and the Principal, Professor Thandima Erasmus, the Acting Vice Chancellor Operations, Ms. Ramsey, I hope I have pronounced it well, the Provincial Commissioner of the Province Gauteng, Lieutenant General Mtombeni, the Acting Divisional Commissioner for Human Resource Development within the South African Police Service, Major General Chauke, the District Commissioner of Tshwane, Major General Tine, all senior managers from both SAPS and SMU, the Provincial Chairperson of the Policing Forum Board, Mr. Masilela, and the organized labor that are here, all stakeholders that are present, and ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Oh, you don't want to greet me? Okay, but I'm not enforcing because I'm wearing uniform. I was just asking nicely, so. It is both an honor and privilege for me to be standing in front of you today as we are gathered here to continue with what we have started yesterday, actually 2 days before, if I may indicate that we started with UKZN, which started on Tuesday with the same process. and they've done their launch yesterday, and then we are here today. This is the second institution that we are progressing in terms of what we're doing. We are here today because we're coming to launch a campus community safety forum. We know very well that the process started yesterday with a workshop that was done by all the relevant stakeholders, and we really appreciate the work that has been done yesterday and the people that have attended and made sure that the process runs smoothly to ensure that there is a better understanding. Talking to the background where it's coming from, this is an initiative that was built in from the work that was done during 2022, where we had a summit that was held in relation to the Learning Environment Safety Summit that was held in Bombela, launched or hosted by Tshwane University of Technology. In this summit, we brought together the diverse stakeholders who are responsible for safety and security within the educational institution. For that purpose, we were able to share constructive ideas and developed meaningful solutions to create a safer schools. We know already we have school safety programs that we are running with the Department of Basic Education, but then we realized that we are lagging behind in terms of the higher learning institution. Hence, we made sure that we started with that process. And there were many government institutions or government departments that were represented in that summit who made a pledge and commitment to make sure that there is a success in terms of what we are going to be launching today in support of the South African Police Service, to ensure that as our institutions in the country for higher learning, we remain in institutions with safe and secure environment for the learners, but not only for the learners, but also for the people that are working in that space. From that summit, there was a learning environment safety framework that was developed, which was approved then in 2023. This framework serves as a blueprint for our collective efforts to address the safety challenges in the learning environment across the country, as I've already alluded to the fact that we started with KZN the 2 days ago. We know very well that as the South African Police Service, we are entrusted with the responsibility to create a safe and secure environment for all who live in our country as mandated in terms of the Constitution. The responsibility does not only talk to the community in terms of the residential or whatever, but it also includes the higher learning, as I've already indicated, as well as the school, because we have the students, we have the staff, we have the visitors who then come and visit, and therefore we have to share, to have a vision in terms of the concerns around the security of the higher learning institution. The effective and regulated partnerships are therefore very essential for us to be able to win the fight against crime in the higher learning institution. It is only through the collaboration with the universities, the colleges, and as well as the communities. Hence, we have realized that we also have invited now the CPFs, because they're working very closely with the communities. They know exactly what is transpiring with the communities. We have the students who will be coming from Limpopo. They come and settle here. They don't know the challenges within the environment. They just walk around. You don't know where to go. Eventually, we become the victim, or you are introduced now to be involved in part of, as a perpetrator in terms of engaging in criminal activities. We know the challenges in terms of the backgrounds that we're coming from. There are several high-level national strategies that have already developed, or they are actually incorporated in terms of what we are doing. We have the National Development Plan 2030, which talks to or emphasize building communities by reducing crime through integrated approach, involving everybody, institutions, community, and everybody, so that we can increase the feeling of safety for both women and children. But we know we are just left with 5 years, so we have to run with speed in terms of achieving the objectives of the National Development Plan. The Integrated Youth Crime Prevention Strategy. Within the South African Police Service, yes, we have the youth desks, because as I've indicated, the youth, they are either the perpetrators or they are the victims of crime. So we cannot be able to fight crime if we don't involve youth. Hence, we have this is integrated. It involves the youth within the organization, it involves the youth within the community. South African Police is part of the community. It can't be separated from the community. And then we know of the Integrated Crime and Violence Prevention Strategy. We should accept with pain, of course, that we are living in a violent society. So we have developed that integrated strategy again. That says, what is it that we're going to do as the community, as the South African Police, as the criminal justice system, to fight this violence and prevent it? So there is a strategy that is also embedded in what we want to do. And of course, the gender-based violence and femicide. We have seen a lot of incidents that are happening at the higher learning institutions. Our young girls, they get raped. So we're saying, what is it that we can do? Creating awareness is one of them. There's a lot of things that we can do, and we really appreciate what the institution has already put in place in trying to address that. Then we also have the Drug Master Plan. The Drug Master Plan that talks to the drugs that are available. And again, our young people, they are the ones that are being targeted. So I was even talking to the prof, and I said there is an area in the CBD where you have these young girls who are staying there, the dropouts from the higher learning institutions. They are just there because they have been here to learn, but I don't know what happened. Now they are under the bridges. I don't know if their parents know exactly where they are, which is really painful. So from our side as the South African Police, what is embedded there is also the demand and supply of the drugs, of which we really have to partner with the institution. The implementation of all these strategies, they require continuous engagement with the various departments, which will include the higher education and training, the Department of Social Development to an extent, and to also involve the Department of Health and all other key stakeholders that are playing a role in this regard. The institution of higher learning across South Africa, which is including SMU, faces various crime-related challenges that threaten the core mission of teaching, learning, and research. So it's obvious, if people, they don't feel free, if people, they feel that if they are in the class, they can be attacked or anything, it definitely will affect the teaching and learning. These crimes ranges from common assault, as I've already alluded to serious offenses such as the rape, the robberies, where the students will just be walking on the street, not knowing the environment, and eventually they get robbed. These crimes occur not only within the campuses, but also in the surrounding areas and along the routes used by the students for classes and social activities. The gender-based violence has emerged as one of the most critical challenges. So with this 2024 GBV report that we had, highlighted that most reported cases involve students residing on the campus. So the question is, why is the student who are residing in the campus having this highest number of cases that are reported for rape? Something must just trigger our mind what is happening. Survivors often encounters barriers such as stigmas, the fear of retaliation, and lack of trust in reporting the system. So this is a concern for all of us, as I've indicated. But let me just go to the main focus areas of what we're going to be doing today in terms of the launch. For us to be able to achieve that, we have developed and we're going to be launching the the campus safety program, where we're going to have the forums that will be established today. But what are the focus area or the priorities of this forum? First, the issue of the uniform security standard, where we say we should comply with CIRA comply with CIRA regulations. The screening of security officials is very important. Sometimes we are compromised by the security that we employ, because if we don't employ the right people, we definitely not gonna make it. Then the next one is a physical security and the facility. There we're talking about the access control and the parameters of the security. For example, in one institution, there was a student who was killed by a boyfriend. And apparently that boyfriend stayed in that campus for a long time, while that person was not a student. So where is the security? Where is the access? How did he get the access? And eventually he went there and killed this young girl. But we should be able to say, what is it that we're doing in terms of the accessibility or the access of the student accommodation and the facility as a whole. The student support, we're talking about the facilities as the Vice Chancellor has indicated that they have the support for the student. We want that support to be linked to the station so that their cases can also receive the priority. Policing and law enforcement, dedicated police official that will be dedicated for each institution will be appointed, so that if you have a problem, you can be able to liaise with it. Then they will be told what their functions are. And of course, the structure that has to be established to attend to the issues of all the safety and security matters within the campus. So campus safety is a complex and multifaceted matter that demands ongoing focus, cooperation, and innovation. By implementing the effective regulations, providing continuous training, and fostering culture of safety, educational institution can create an environment that promotes both learning and personal development. The Campus Community Safety Forum has been established and represent a comprehensive model to address crime and safety concern within the universities. It is designed to build and bring together all the stakeholders within the security clusters and beyond to address the challenges and collaborate for the effective intervention and sustenance of the prevention and awareness program. Through these initiatives, we collectively commit ourselves to building safer, more secure campus environment where students can thrive, free from fear and harm. Together, we are shaping a future where our campuses remain place of growth, knowledge, and opportunity. I normally emphasize that if we don't build on our youth, we are destroying our country. As Nelson Mandela has said, and I quote, "Education is the most powerful weapon which can use to change the world," end of the quote. By protecting our institution of higher learning, we safeguard not only our students, but also the future of the nation. Let us hold hands and build our community. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to Lieutenant General Mamoteti. Lieutenant, thank you very much for outlining the strategies that are there at our disposal to try and make sure that we fight various security threats that we are facing. Here at SMU, I must say, I am proud to say that we are having an integrated strategy, as we've learned from yesterday's presentations, through the Office of the Security Services, the GBV office, the campus health, where we provide a holistic approach to safety and security. Not only that, but we also provide the psychosocial services. God forbid, should we have any cases, we have the GB office that is there to support the victims. But don't take it from me, ladies and gentlemen, at the helm of Sefako Makgatho Health Sciences University, there's a visionary leader, a leader who deeply is committed to advancing excellence, driving transformation, and strengthening our impact in health sciences education, research, and community engagement. Under her stewardship, the university continues to position itself as a globally recognized and locally relevant institution dedicated to producing health professionals who respond to the needs of the communities in our nation. It is therefore my distinct honor to introduce our Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor T. Erasmus. Thank you.
Good morning. You doing well? Usually, what happens in campuses is a reflection of what happens in the country. So, to deal with this problem, it is not enough to deal with it on campus, but also in our country. So, program directors, our esteemed commissioners, generals, brigadiers, and senior officers of the South African Police Service, our distinguished guests from the departments and partner agencies, our students, colleagues, partners, and other honors guests, all protocol is duly observed. Good morning again. Today, we gather under a solemn yet hopeful banner, one that calls us to action to build a safe campus, to raise strong voices, and stand together to stop gender-based violence. When I talk about that, I recall our numbers of pregnancies, of teenage pregnancies in our country, some as young as 9 and 10. And I call upon all men in this room, because these children don't make themselves pregnant. I call upon all of the men in this room to stand with us and fight this. This gathering is not ceremonial. It is a declaration that SMU will remain unwavering in its resolve to create a campus where safety is not a privilege, a shared promise that binds us all to custodians of this community. Our university stands at the intersection of two significant responsibilities: to produce the next generation of health leaders who will heal our nation and to protect the community that nurtures them. In recent years, we have witnessed how crime and violence, both on and off campus, erode not only our sense of security, but also our academic mission. From thefts that we experience from our students going into practice and on campus, and assaults, to the unspoken traumas of the gender-based violence. These incidents remind us that education cannot flourish with fear. It is therefore not enough to excel in research and teaching. We must also lead in creating environments where learning and dignity coexist. Today's launch of the Campus Community Safety Forum marks a turning point. It is a move from reactive measures to proactive collective action. This forum will embody a principle we hold dear, that safety is not the task of the department, it is the duty of the community. It unites the SAPS, security services, student leaders, faculty, civil society, and health and justice partners in a shared mission to detect, deter, and defeat threats to our well-being, whether physical, emotional, or digital. To the South African Police Services, we express our deepest gratitude. Your partnership anchors our resolve and brings the weight of the Republic's law and order to the heart of our campus. Together, we affirm there is no room for violence, harassment, or criminality at SMU. This safety forum will do more than secure our gates, it will safeguard our values. In light of this principle, the integration of the 2025 anti-GBV awareness campaign is a bold affirmation that gender justice is non-negotiable in our institution. We therefore adopt a whole of university approach, aligning our actions with the National Strategic Plan on GBV and femicide, as well as our own advocacy plan. As a university, we commit to 1, equip our students and staff with the knowledge and courage to intervene. 2, strengthen survivor-centered support systems. 3, amplify safe reporting and confidential counseling. And finally, to build a culture where silence is replaced with solidarity. But technology alone cannot heal trauma or prevent harm. We must invest equally in training, awareness, and partnerships that nurture trust. Our Security Service Department has already laid a strong foundation with a 24-hour surveillance on campus, drone and CCTV technology, biometric access, and rapid technical response units. However, we still sometimes miss, technology can miss. We have had incidences where undesirable individuals have been able to enter our campus. Because safety is the seed from which excellence grows, setting the tone today means envisioning SMU as a beacon of holistic safety, where our lecture halls are sanctuaries of learning, our residences are havens of belonging, and our corridors echo without fear, but with purpose. Our goal is not simply to respond to incidents, but to reimagine campus safety as a shared ethos rooted in respect, guided by data, and driven by humanity. Let this forum launch not end with speeches, but with sustained action. Let each one of us become custodians of safety, because every theft prevented, every assault reported, every survivor supported is a victory for the values we hold dear. Together, we will build trust between the university and law enforcement, empower survivors, eliminate stigma, and create a legacy of protection and justice that future generations will inherit proudly. In the words of Nelson Mandela, again, safety and security don't just happen. They are the result of collective consensus and public investment. Today, we make that investment. We set the tone for a safer, more just, and more compassionate SMU. A university that not only shapes the future health, but also models the future of humanity. Let us move forward together for a safe campus and strong voices. I thank you.
Let us give Prof. T. Mashaba Erasmus another round of applause. Indeed, we have to instill a culture of trust, and as mandated by the Section 205, our mandate as the SAPS is to protect the inhabitants of the country and also inflict, arrest, and uphold the law. But we have to understand that we are living in evolving times as citizens or the world at large. So we have to adapt and come with new strategies that can assist us in ensuring that we cap the scourge of crime. But with that being said, as the SAPS, you know, we don't work alone. We work with other partners, stakeholders, and of course, to ensure that policing is not just a service, but a community effort. We are moving to the next segment, whereby the next speakers will be giving us the message of support. But before I call on my speakers, Kindly take note that time is against us, and I will allocate 5 minutes for each and every speaker who will be coming here. But first, I will start with a representative from the Department of Higher Education. Unfortunately, I was not given the name, but I was sensitized that they are already here. By a show of hand, okay, sir. The podium is yours. Let's give him a round of applause. It is an honor, and we are humbled to have you here, sir. Thank you.
Is it still morning? Good morning, everyone. VC, senior representatives from SEPS, all protocol observed. My name is Chaba Meji. I'm from the Department of Higher Education and Training in the University branch. We are in the Chief Directorate Institutional Governance and Management Support. So part of our responsibilities also is to provide support to our universities in a form to ensure that universities remain safe spaces for teaching and learning to be able to happen. We have been working with SEPS in this program for some time now. My colleagues were also in KZN yesterday. Major General Chowk, they just came back actually in the evening last night after the 2-day program at KZN, and one of my colleagues was here also yesterday, Mr. Ngangele, supporting this program here at SMU. So I've been requested also to continue to join this session here today. For us in the department, it is indeed an honor to participate in this kind of a program, as we really believe that these kind of initiatives, they remain critical in the sector to ensure that our institutions remain safe spaces. We've experienced a lot of criminality in the past years on our campuses nationally. We have multi-stakeholder engagements and relationships with different stakeholders in the sector, precisely to try and find ways that in which we can work together to deal with issues of criminality of our campuses. So this kind of initiative for us, it is indeed quite important as it brings us closer to reducing the crime levels on our campuses. As a message of support, I would like to encourage the university campus safety unit, as led by our colleagues who also serve at Campros, on campuses, and to improve relationships with our communities, as the VC has indicated that we as the community-based people are the ones that are responsible for issues of safety and security, but not the actual institutions that actually do the governance around these issues. So it starts with us in the communities. So to see a collaboration between the university, SEPS, civil society, us as a department, and interest bodies in communities, I think it goes a long way in trying to deal with some of these issues. There's a number of work that we are doing in the department with SEPS. I think one of the most initial arrangements that we've been doing with SEPS, we've embarked on a process to develop a blueprint on the minimum norms and standards of physical security. I really appreciated what the Major General Chauke indicated around issues of physical security on campuses, that it remains a critical a contributor to ensuring safety on campuses, issues of access control, issues of minimum requirements for border gates, be it your fencing and so on. I remember one incident in one of our universities where a history building got burned during protest, and some of the archives that were in that kind of a building can never be replaced by any other space or any other entity, because that was the only place where that kind of material could be found and preserved But however, our minimum security standards to preserve that kind of an area were not to the requirement of what it should have been to preserve that kind of an area. So if we had the required kind of security physically for that kind of a building, I think even banning it would not have, we would have saved a lot of material in that kind of an environment. So the work that we've done in that regard, we've done a lot. I think right now we've got the draft blueprint, which has been presented to our principals, the DG and the DDG in their exco. They've requested that the colleagues in SEPS to come and present the blueprint because it's going to serve as a blueprint for minimum norms and standards for institutions to adapt to in terms of improving their safety and security. Because we've seen that our institutions, in terms of physical security, have always been doing their own things. But this will serve as a guide on that front. Furthermore to that, we've been working again with the colleagues now recently. Before that, we also have requested all the institutions to submit their safety and security policies because we've realized that at a policy level and at a governance level, it becomes important that we have guides as institutions that gives us powers to implement certain things on campus so that even our institutions, even our managers that are responsible for provision of safety and security are protected by laws that govern the institution so that we ensure that we do not just thumbsuck what we need to be doing. When we say campus safety, when we say access control, when we say this and that, it's guided by documents that have been approved by our university councils and our standard operating procedures as the legitimate documents. Because we've observed in all of the documents that we've received, only half of our universities, VC, have approved policy, campus safety policies that governs the function of security on campuses, which sometimes leaves a loophole because some of these young kids can take us to court just by asking us, who gives you the right to search me as I enter? And if we don't have a policy guide that deals with that, we can get into trouble on some of these things. So we are also, we request that the university councils must approve these policy guidelines so that it gives powers to without fear or favor. So we have this, we received about 25 of the 26 universities. Some of them are still in draft phases. Some of them have been presented at council level for approval. Some of them are approved, but we are hoping from that VC to develop a national framework that every institution should take and bring it into their own context to say, okay, fine, here's the minimum things that would require to provide security, but in our context, what is it then do we add or delete so that we can have at least a similar kind of a guide that governs these things. So that's another piece of work that we've been doing with SEPS. And the most recent one, we almost finalized the MOU on issues of prevention. And not just to come in on issues of crime when the crime has already happened. We're looking in terms of collaboration, in terms of how do we prevent, how do we create awareness, how do we ensure that our young people know what to do, even staff, actually, by the way, what is it that they need to do when they face an issue of criminality on campus or just outside campus. So that memorandum of understanding, I think it will be between SEPS and the department, but it's still being consulted also with our new principals that have just came into power, so that, because they're the ones that initiated, the one deputy minister initiated that we need this kind of memorandum. So we've ran with it and we are almost at the end of that phase. So those are some of the key things that we've been doing together with the national stakeholder bodies to try and contribute towards the dealing with issues of criminality at a policy level from our side as a department. Because the implementing spaces are institutional, but we feel as a department that the responsibility of us is to create policies that are enabling for our institutions to be able to deal with some of these things. I know this MOU speaks to, because in the past, that's what actually interested us the most with the draft of this MOU, was that sometimes there would be blurred lines between when does it become the responsibility of police to enter campus, where does the responsibility of the campus safety or campus managers or campus protection services end, and when does POP come in, and where does the private security end? Because sometimes you'd find that students will also be saying that, no, the police were there and they just sat there and they did nothing once the university was burning. And one university will say, no, we're waiting for the go-ahead from the VC to enter. So those lines need to be played. I think those kind of MOUs will clarify in terms of whose role becomes what and when at what level. So I think we are quite excited about this, and we want to wish the launch very well, a great success. We'll continue to participate wherever possible in ensuring that our campuses become safer and much more habitable, and to enhance actually the student experiences on campus. With that, we support the program, and all the best, colleagues. Thank you very much.
Let us give our speaker another round of applause. Well, one can attest to the fact that fighting crime is not to simmer or sedate, but is to completely eradicate crime. But we can't do it alone. We need all the stakeholders and our partners to assist us. We are very fortunate as the SAPS because we have the Security Policing Forum that works hand in hand with us, and they are our middlemen, and they also challenge us. I must say I've had the liberty to work with them, and they are the ones who connect us with the community. But with that being said, allow me to call the next speaker, the board chairperson, Mr. TJ Masilela from Community Policing Forum, to give us a word or two. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Let me acknowledge and pay respect to the Vice Chancellor and your team. Let me also acknowledge and pay respect to Lieutenant General Mamteti, Divisional Commissioner, Provincial Commissioner and your team, District Commissioner also and your team, CPF members, community members, learners, students, and everyone that worries and has made crime fighting their responsibility. I must say, Vice Chancellor, that it is very encouraging that you spoke about the technology that is being implemented by the university, but also taking into consideration how do we then tap the technology into the available technology, MySEPS app, and the other technology that is available, because in this space of education and higher education, young people here would spend more time on their phones and obviously on their social media space. The participation of community policing relations defines that all stakeholders, including, and possible maybe this is long overdue, but it's better late than never, that you don't only see the police coming to the campus when the campus is burning. It should be, to some extent, have a space in this. I don't know what the rules and regulations says, but have a space here at the station, at the school, or at the university, so that from time to time, when patrolling and doing their rounds, they can also come and visit the station. Police will do visits at filling stations at times, have a coffee and talk to the people, the customers. So why not also have some kind of access to this institution? So it's a network kind of a crime-fighting space. It's obviously different from any other, but that's exactly what one would want to see. And all the CPF members, I mean the CPF in and around the areas where you have higher education institutions will then include in their agendas. We can't have a CPF meeting and we're not talking about campus safety. That would be wrong, because there's a big number of highly intelligent young people that are coming to, and the staff. I think we also mention, sometimes forget that the staff plays a very important role. So in and around here, the police stations that are here, the CPFs that are here, the Acacia, the Soshanguves, the Pretoria North, we should see your next agenda must include campus safety. How are you going to maneuver there? The station commander must find a space and make sure that the campus is represented in these meetings. Whether it's twice a year or 4 times a year, let it be part of the establishment. Because the Vice Chancellor says we can't have a talk show. We can't just launch and then goodbye, thank you very much, we eat and then we leave. It should continue. Let's have an appetite to have these meetings, because it is through these meetings that you would understand and also have an access, and vice versa, the police also have an access to this most important institutions like SMU. But also, you mentioned that if technology is not utilized, it also doesn't take us any far. There's been a lot of technology efforts, products, integration of those. How do we make sure that it talks to all of us? If a student here press a button activating, it must not just activate the schools, the security services of here. It should activate the CPF, should activate the patrolling car, it should activate the security company, it should activate, so even the relative or relatives. Because there's a student that is here that's coming from Khamashashan that has never had an opportunity to be at an institution like this and might get lost in the process. But how do you then make sure that we track? We will have to agree with students that students, you will, if we're talking about safety and we're serious about safety, you need to be tracked. And that applies to all of us. Our cars have tracking systems, so it's not something new. Our phones are actually terminals that can be tracked. So it's not something new that you must be afraid of. But Vice Chancellor, I actually brought some personal alarms also that I will at some point give it to you so that you can also use. This is deterrence that will at times make noise that when pressed, it will attract some attention, but also it will say somebody's in trouble. So these personal alarms, they also act and work as a lighter when it's dark in those areas. That one, especially students that will be walking around the institution. Seeing that we're talking about Nelson Mandela's quotes, I think it's also important that I quote Nelson Mandela when he says, "Education is a great engine of personal development." And I close quote. And that is the truth. Possible all of us here might have had an opportunity to pass the corridors of institution of higher learning, and we know exactly what is personal development at that level. And we should encourage our young people to be safe, but also make the crime or crime prevention part of their curriculum somewhere. Vice Chancellor, I don't know where you guys are expecting this. You should be able to help us. We remain committed, we remain humbled, and we support all the initiatives of this nature. And we say, let's protect the future, let's protect our kids, let's protect the next leaders. Thank you.
Arifeng Tate Masilela, another round of applause. Thank you very much, sir, for your support and always encouraging us as the SAPS to fight crime. But I took note of something you said, that this should be a continuous effort. And I do believe that the House concurs with your statement that this should be a continuous effort to make it a point that we are fighting crime. But with that being said, also you mentioned something about technology. You know, I'm blessed now, I'm no longer falling under the youth, I've just turned 36 upwards, but it is prevalent that, you know, there's a prevalent crime that is taking place, of which is cyberbullying. We are also tapping into that space as the SAPS to can investigate such crimes of bullying. And as the youth, we know we always hooked up. I'm one who's always hooked up on my social media. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anything you can name, we are there. So thank you very much for that. But now we will be moving right along and to formally introduce a representative from the Youth Crime Prevention Desk, Mr. Ngobeni, to give us a word or two, because obviously they are directly working with the youth, and we are thankful for that. Let's give him a round of applause.
No, thank you very much, program directors. Program directors, allow me to first greet and send my salutations to the Provincial Commissioner, Commissioner Mtombeni, the institution's counselor, I forgot to take down the name, SAPS senior management, and all members present. Also to send my greetings to the board chairperson. Ladies and gentlemen, Dumelang. And thank you very much for giving us this opportunity, Program Director. You know, as I was sitting down noting when the first speaker opened and gave the purpose of the event, in fact, she took all my words. It was like we shared notes. So if we were to be where I come from, and then I sit down. Program Director, as the Gauteng Youth Crime Prevention Desk and working hand in hand with the South African Police Service, we note and we welcome this great initiative, and we commit to give our unwavering support to this great initiative, because Program Director, gender-based violence has always been on our mouth. Many leaders who came before us, they spoke about it, and very soon, as we'll be going to the festives, we'll also be talking about gender-based violence. But there's a question that we need to ask ourselves as to what went wrong, and also where are we missing the plot. I think the SAPS gave us a platform in the institutions of higher learning to can be able to address that issue. Program Director, I intend not to take time because most of the items in my speech were covered by the previous speakers. But Program Director and also the institution, I am deeply concerned by the rise of anxiety and depression that is taking place in institutions of higher learning, and of which it's something that we are not taking into consideration, which leads to suicide or possible dropout on a lot of young people. And it's something that I wanted to bring onto this table so that we find ways in order to fight this disease. Program Director, as the Youth Crime Prevention Desk, working hand in hand with the Gauteng Policing Community Board, we will ensure that after the launch of this program, we come back, because we don't want to be seen here we make speeches and then we leave. We want to come back and to ensure that this program is truly implemented so that there is learning and teaching and it's not disturbed. I thank you.
Can we give another round of applause? Here at SMU, maybe let me take this opportunity to apologize for those who have programs. You would have seen that we were supposed to be having the SMU SRC with us. But as we prioritize education, and it's that time of the year where we have exams going on, our SRC is highly tied up, and apologies for that. Yesterday, when we opened, Ntate Sathekge took about 5 minutes playing a video that showed us how safe are we, or how safe we are around campus. And if I'm not mistaken, they alluded to having over 1,700 cameras. 1,800 cameras around campus. That's making sure that we are safe here. And he went on to show us other devices and machineries that we have that are there for us to be safe. And during lunch, please make your way to the stall, SMU stall, and see our devices and what we have to make sure that everybody is safe in our SMU. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue with the day 2 of the Sefako Makgatho Health Sciences University Safety Engagement and the launch of the Campus Community Safety Forum, it is my privilege to once again acknowledge the leadership of our Deputy Director, SMU Security Services, Mr. Andries Sathekge. His commitment and dedication remain central to advancing a safe and secure environment for our university community. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor to invite Mr. Sathekge to come and address us. Oh, we can clap now. Thank you.
Good morning, colleagues. Without any waste of time, let me just take this opportunity just to acknowledge the Divisional Commissioner, Gauteng Provincial Commissioner, Major Generals, Brigadiers, and other senior members of staffs here, including our university management, executive management, the Vice Chancellor and the Deputy Vice Chancellor, as well as other senior managers present in here, and as well as colleagues from various departments to support this initiative. Most welcome. Without any waste of time, I think it's important now that we, because of time constraint, just to introduce the members of the committee. And I must just say the committee comprises of various divisions, including academics, so that wherever we need some sort of research, colleagues can be able to assist from academic enterprise. I'm going to call upon the names of the members of the committee, but before I do that, I just want to assure the Department of Higher Education, SMU has got approved policy, and it was shared with the department. Thank you. The first person on the list is Ms. Nicolette Jordan, Audiovisual Manager. And then if I call your name, just come in the front. The space is not enough, we'll make a plan. As SMU always make a plan. And then I will call upon Mr. Lucky Mabunda, Chief Security Officer, SMU. Mr. Peter Sadiki, Investigation Officer. Mrs. Sadike, Chief Security Officer. Mrs. Rasoroka, our Internal Investigation Officer. Then Mr. Temba Kumalo, Deputy Director, Student Governance. Mr. Tulani Nkunzi is not here due to some other commitment. And then Mewe Pilo Mutswana is also part of the committee. She's not here. She's represented by Ms. Vuma Martha. Dr. Matsonzo Matebula from Campus Health is our doctor. Sister and the manager of the campus clinic, Sister Slukela. And then Dr. Nema Yeah, no, this one is a difficult one. Dr. Nefumbada. And then the outgoing SRC president, who is not here. And then Mrs. Busisiwe Mbanjwa. And then Mr. Balangeni Makema is our health and wellness officer. And then our legal service department director, Mr. Tapelo Mamono, is not in our midst, busy with other university engagement. Mrs. Monica Maseko, School of Medicine, the manager in that division. Mr. Soli Mpolaise, our employee relation officer. Mrs. Chimangazo Mpapuli, and Mrs. Winera Marishane, communication and marketing. Okay, she's here. And then our director in the finance operation is not here. She will join us shortly. He's also busy with other university engagement. And then there's Miss Monica Maseko, the School of Medicine. And then we have got Miss Jennifer Lohodi. She's not in our midst, is our safety officer. She's not here, also busy with other engagement. Our ICT director, Mr. Berto Brandt, who is also not here in our midst. And then the acting CFO, Mr. Mashatule Masha, is also busy with the university engagement. Mr. Walter Maleane from our supply chain management. Walter Maleane, supply chain management deputy director. And then it also comprises of from sports, Mr. Jeff Simono. He's not here. He's the head of our sports. And then we've got Dr. Chifiwa Mulauzi from organized labor. He was here. And Mr. Jacob Lekabe from Sub 2. Mr. Lekabe is here. Mr. Kabele Mukwape from APSA is organized labor. All these people that I've called the chairperson of our organized labor on campus, they are part of the way here, but I know Mr. Mukwape is involved in the other engagement. And then we have got our councillor, who is not here for Ward 32, Mr. Floyd Tema. And then from Community Safety Forum, we've got Mr. Martin Moloto. That was the name given to me. The chairperson of Arankua. Oh, here you are, Tata. Thank you very much. And then we have got Mr. Mpope Luane, Arankua, chairperson Sector 1 Forum. Is responsible for us here. And then we have got Mr. Musoma, Tshwane University of Technology, who is not here. They are currently busy with the SRC elections. Mrs. Lebo Langa from George Mukaru, Deputy Director, Security Services. I think I saw here. Mrs. Langa, she went to the bathroom. She will join us. And then in our midst, we also got Prof. Gerda Buotha from the Academic Enterprise. And then the last one is Dr. Susan Nyalunga from POMI, who is a senior lecturer and a facilitator in the Academic Enterprise. Colleagues, this is the committee that is established or introduced officially to the university management as well as members of SABS. As you can see, the composition, oh yes, Mrs. Mbanjwa, I was worried, where are you? From our GBV office. And some of the members, unfortunately, cannot be with us due to some community engagement. The structure also, I'm also confirmed that it also constitutes with the SRC are part of the structure. Without any waste of time, program director, these are the men and women that are really dedicated and raise their hand to say, we are here to help you as the head of security, but we are here to ensure that you are going to deal with this case of GBVs on campus or any other related challenge that the university faces. And then colleagues, I just want to say, as we have officially introduced our guests, then the next step will be internally we'll develop a terms of reference where then the committee will adopt the terms of reference. And lastly, it must not just be another talk show. We need to be seen to be able to make a change in terms of improving our lives within the communities. And then the only members that are not here, I'm gonna put Brigadier Nkosi on the spot. I've requested that Ndwela, they must give us 4 members. She can advise who are those members. We're also having 4 members from Garankua that are going to form, but the station commander is here, can be able to talk to that, who are those members, and then from there, the program will be done in terms of introduction to the communities. And once again, colleagues, thanks for willing to accept this opportunity to serve and service the university community at large, including the surrounding communities. I will just hand over to the station commander within the local subs, Brigadier Nkosi, just to come forward, introduce their members. Thank you.
Thank you very much, program directors, vice chancellors, our seniors in the SAPS, all protocol observed. Let me just introduce the members from the local police station that will be dealing with the GBV in the campus. In our midst, I've got the head of crime prevention, is Lieutenant Colonel Mguni. In absentia, the Vispol commander is busy with the operational duties outside, making sure that the area is safe. It's Colonel Manne. I've got our GBV coordinator in terms of the VFR coordinator, Sergeant Moyo. I've got our crime analyst, SIMEC, Sergeant Marobiane. That will be all from the subs and myself as the station commander.
Generals and commissioners, I thought the brigadier would include herself as a part of this community. Oh, she did. No, no, thank you. Give her a round of applause. Thank you. I think we can all sit down. Thank you very much for your dedications, and we really appreciate the institution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's give Ntate Sateche and all the representatives who are here a round of applause. I must say, sir, your work is commendable, and we can see that, through your presentation yesterday, you've given us all the angles in terms of how you are operating, and you are doing a commendable job. Let's give him another round of applause. Now it is time to seal the deal. The moment that we've all been waiting for has arrived. It is time for the signing of the pledge, and we will do it in this fashion. I would kindly like to call all my generals to can come forth. The Vice Chancellor and Deputy Vice Chancellor to can come forth. We can all stand here. Who can assist me? Colleague, if you can assist me with unveiling the pledge. Oh, who's there? Okay, thank you very much. Of course, the CPF and Youth Desk and Department of Higher Education, you're also welcome to can come here. Thank you. I do believe that we do have a space for us. And I will read, okay, I don't know who's going to read through the pledge. Do I do the honors or you'll do the honors? Okay, all right. Okay. Okay. The Safety Campus Program, Sefako Makgatho Health Science University. The Campus Community Safety Forum at SMU is established in partnership with the South African Police Service, University Management, the Student Representative Council, employees, and the community stakeholders. This partnership ensures that the campus safety and crime prevention and the fight against gender-based violence is approached collectively. In our commitment, we understand, we undersign the stakeholders, including the SMU, the SAPS, students, employees, and the community partners, pledge to work together to ensure that the SMU is safe, inclusive, and respectful learning environment. In line with the learning environment safety framework and the university anti-gender-based violence strategy, we commit to supporting and serving the SMU campus community safety forum, implementing and monitoring the campus community safety action plan, endorsing and strengthening the student safety cadet initiative. Okay, oh my God. Promoting dignity, respect, equality, and zero tolerance for violence. All forms of harassment and discrimination. Fostering a culture of reporting, accountability, and survivor support. Collaborating with the SAPS, students, employees, and the community partners to strengthen campus safety. And also reviewing progress annually to ensure the pledge remains a living, accountable commitment. The declaration, safety is a shared responsibility together with SMU, SAPS, and our partners, and we will build a campus that is free of fear, harassment, and violence, a campus where every student and employee can thrive with dignity and respect. This pledge is made on this day, of which is the 2nd of October, 2025, at Sefako Makgatho Health Science University. I would now call Lieutenant General Mtombeni to can come and sign his pledge. And of course, accompanied by Lieutenant General Mamuteti. Of course, let's give it a round of applause. Of course, we will be, thank you very much. And he will be followed by our Vice Chancellor, Prof. Tatale signature. And of course, our acting Vice Chancellor. Indeed, we are sealing the deal. And allow me to call the District Commissioner of Tshwane District, Major General Tine, will be followed by the Department of Higher Education, of course, CPF, of course, Youth Desk. Let's give them a round of applause. I omitted something. Brigadier Nkosi, you are our host. You have to be here. This is your area of policing, and we need you to also be here and seal this deal. Thank you very much. And Department of Labor. Oh, your labor, okay. Sorry, of course. Of course. Yes. Yes, Brigadier. Then we can seal. Oh, George Mukar is here. Okay. Of course, neighbors. Neighbors. Okay. Okay, Tate Kumalo from Student Affairs, we also need your signature. We will try to make some space so that we will take a picture of all who signed our pledge. Okay. Of course, in police language, we say it's now time for boots on the ground and to take action. I do believe that the pledge is signed, sealed, and delivered. Let's give them a round of applause. So now we are going to take a picture. I don't know how, that you can assist in terms of, yes. Basithini phansi ngecrime phansi. Phansi nge-gender based violence phansi. Phansi nge-femicide phansi. Halala. Of course, thank you very much. You may take your seats, ladies and gentlemen. Halala. Keynote address. Yes. Let's give our dignitaries and our stakeholders another round of applause. Now it's time to call our functionary to come and give us a keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome our Provincial Commissioner for Gauteng, Lieutenant General D.T. Mtombeni. Let's give him a round of applause. Let's give him another tremendous round of applause.
Thank you, program directors, Constable Nkumisi and Mr. Mahlawa, and of course the warrant officer, Reverend Mabusha Maema. It is a privilege for me to come and stand here before you. This is one of the events of which we are proud to participate as a South African Police Service. As we know that crime poses a significant threat within our campuses, and as such, the well-being and academic successes of our students, faculties, employees becomes affected. And therefore, in response of the above, Community Campus Safety Forum has become an effective strategy to combat and to deal with the threat we are faced. Hence, today here we are meeting the Vice Chancellor and the Principal of Sefako Makgatho Health and Science University. I happen to learn today or to know that this is the best health science university in the continent. And of course, the Vice Chancellor and the Principal is Professor Thandi Macha Erasmus. The Divisional Commissioner of Visible Policing and Operations in South Africa, Lieutenant General Mamuteti, the Deputy Vice Chancellor for Operations, who is currently the Acting Vice Chancellor, Ms. Odette Ram Singh. In absentia, the Civilian Secretariat for the South African Police Service, unless if they have just arrived or he have just arrived, Mr. Teka Malatsa, the Acting Divisional Commissioner for Human Resource Development, Major General Chauke, District Commissioner of Tshwane, Major General Tina, accompanied by the Station Commander of Garamkuwa, Brigadier Nkosi, the Department of Higher Education and Training, Deputy Director Sichaba Mija, Campus Director for Security for Sefako Makgatho Health and Science University, Mr. Andries Sateche. I think we have worked together for some times while I was the District Commissioner of Tshwane during that period of hashtag Fees Must Fall. I was in this campus playing that critical role for the universities within Gauteng. So Mr. Andries Sateche was one of those. In absentia for Sefako Makgatho Health and Science University, outgoing President for SRC, Katlego Pita Mushenyane, the Provincial Chairperson for Community Policing Forum in Gauteng, Mr. TJ Masilela. Are you still here, Chair? And of course, the Provincial Chairperson for Youth Crime Prevention Structure, Mr. Ingo Beni, the heads of the entity, senior government officials, ladies and gentlemen, and a protocol observed. As we further strive to create an environment conducive to learning, growth, development, we acknowledge that the rates of crime and violence in our campuses is a challenge. And of course, we also acknowledge that the gender-based violence and femicide is a pandemic. Within our society, as greatly highlighted by the two professors, Professor Tandimacha Erasmus and Professor Odette Ramsing. And we further noted that not all campuses experience the same levels of crime. Some of the institutions of higher learning reflect to be safer than the others. Therefore, the challenges confronting the institutions cannot be separated from the country's social ills. On this score, it is of importance that universities keep records of the incidents happening in their space and further report them to the police. With our walkabout, I was walking next to the Vice Chancellor where she raised a concern relating to some cases of which attention was not given. So Brigadier Nkosi, Station Commander of Karankua, you have got that task so that you cannot ruin our relationship. So please, let's give attention to the concern raised by the Vice Chancellor. As we move forward, we cannot compromise the safety of our students, staff. It is not only a moral imperative, but also a necessary condition for academic excellence. Hence, more concerted effort involving all relevant stakeholders is critical. It is a well-known factor that we have to prioritize prevention, or proactive strategies are crucial in order to strengthen collaboration in our response to crime and violence. This initiative emphasizes to put the learning environment to be conducive for all. Furthermore, the collaborative effort in bringing educators, law enforcement agencies, students' organizations, and community together will culminate in sharing best practice, leveraging resources, Director Satecha, and develop innovative solutions. As outlined also by the Divisional Commissioner for Visible Policing and Operations in South Africa, Lieutenant General Mamuteti, she outlined clearly the focus area during her address, of which in asserting our goals for the initial stage, we have to further work on the 3 areas which one can say these 3 areas, the actionable actions can be identified as follows. The first one, but not to say this list or these 3 actionable actions is alpha and omega. The first one is to ensure that we enhance awareness and prevention. We must continue to work together to enhance awareness and prevention for our campuses, communities about the potential threats, promote a culture of vigilance, and encourage responsible behavior. Prevention will be enhanced as and when the students take that responsibility upon themselves. For instances, we have to ensure that we must be mindful of our own surroundings. We must avoid isolated or unfamiliar areas, especially at night. Keep valuables and property hidden or secured, and use strong locks rooms. Carry a whistle and fortunately the chairperson for Community Policing Forum will hand over some goodies, carry a whistle or a pepper spray to be able to raise awareness in case of emergency. As you apply the whistle or the pepper spray, you'll indeed be creating awareness, and that itself, people on the surroundings, they'll notice that something is not right. Avoid excessive alcohol consumption, as it will make you more vulnerable. The cited example of personal safety are just some of the few which can be adopted by students to stay safe and can form as terms of reference when developing the campus community safety forum. Secondly, we have to look on to improve the emergency response and support. On this one, I am aware that specifically for this campus, the security management, as I've cited, the director, Andries Sateche, you have, of course, a great working relationship with the local police station. We have seen in here, as you introduce your campus safety role players, the station was included. And I know for the fact that the program, though this program is mostly entrenched, General Mamuteti, in the primary and the high school, we are, of course, also on this space in terms of Adopt a COP program. And I know for the fact that during your introduction, the sector manager, as well as the social crime prevention officers and the coordinator for visible policing, they are part of the program. And therefore, this effort improves the response time to incidents, as we know that everyone who's affected by the incident wants to be assured from the South African Police Service that the response time will be appropriately and will match the time which is expected by the victim. And of course, by so doing, we'll provide support to the victims, and furthermore, it will be facilitating communications, streamlining amongst other things to the stakeholders, which will create hope and ensure that the victims are assisted. On the same stance, for all the high learning institution, one will say within the province, as we are currently General Mamuteti in Gauteng, we have to make sure that they are taken aboard. More especially the chairperson of our Community Policing Forum, the youth there, you have put commitment. We have to ensure that we hit the ground running. And of course, our support is crucial. It is important, Chairperson, for the Community Policing Forum within the province, that we are there for what is going to unfold. Lastly, we have also to look on or to leverage technology and the infrastructure. We have to ensure that we utilize the available technologies such as the civilian systems, emergency response app, such as the Gauteng e-panic button to enhance campus safety. As we know for the fact that the chairperson of Community Policing Forum in Gauteng, he came here and he promised that he will, of course, hand some goodies. I see he's keeping into his promise. He have put some colorful panic buttons or some goodies there. It looks like he tends to be a mechanic there. Some of them is fixing them. So these goodies will help us, will help those who are within this institution to ensure that we enhance safety. We know for the fact that General Mamuteti, the Gauteng e-panic button which is implemented in Gauteng, and of course the other province, there are other measures of which is implemented. This Gauteng e-panic button, it is a smartphone application where users press and hold a red button for 3 seconds to instantly dispatch emergency service to their location. As we implement it, we know it serves as a personal safety companion that pinpoints the user's location, connects directly to the emergency responders, and provide real-time updates. The app also features options to report a specific crime or request a medical assistance, with all reports receiving immediate attention. We know for the fact that it has also been highlighted by some of our speaker, or one of our speaker, that the South African Police Service also has an application for MySAPS app, which allows the users to send anonymous tip-offs of criminal activities. Students can take advantage of this app and report also known drug hotspots, as General Mamuteti have clearly outlined the drug master plan within the campus. And of course, report illegal trade of liquor. We know in some other instances in the campus, you'll find that there is a shebeen, or there's a liquor outlet of which people, they are trading in liquor. And this will help without having to give their personal information. But this is not only limited to the students, it can be used by all the community. Ladies and gentlemen, I must just indicate that, as it is also clearly outlined by Ntate Sichaba Mija, who is a Deputy Director within the Department of Higher Education, he reflected clearly that security structures for the building, and of which, in this case, the security structures for the buildings, we can make sure that we're having the security barriers in a form of fence, the turnstiles, and of course, Director Sateche, your access control, security features around or within the buildings. This helps for the safety of the institution. One has to indicate that working together, we can do more, as we need this active participation for citizenship, as we call upon you, not limited only to the high learning leaders, administrators, students' organization, law enforcement agency, security personnel, faculty and staff members, community partners and stakeholders. Ladies and gentlemen, together we can create a safer, more supportive inclusive environment for all members of our campus communities, and you are all called upon to join hands together to make our high learning institution to become a beacon of hope, learning and growth where everyone can thrive without fear of violence or harm. As we move forward together, my concluding remarks are, together we create safe spaces, but alone one will miss the signs. And I wish you all to stay safe, stay aware. I thank you.
Bagaetsho, a ke utlwe lekgofi. A ke utlwe lekgofi. Thank you very much, Lieutenant General Mtombeni, for that beautiful speech. Now, what's left for us is just to spread our wings and carry on with the mandate that we have today. But with that being said, I would kindly like to call you back, my General, and General Mamuteti and Tate Masamula to come up front. Tate Masamula. Masiela, sorry, apologies. Masiela. Masiela, yes. Masilela. Masilela. Hey. Libon. All right. Now, I just want him to just give us the gist of what he has, and to can officially hand it over to us. I'm so excited.
But they must demonstrate first. Must demonstrate how it's used.
The Vice Chancellor.
Give it to the
Okay.
Vice Chancellor.
Okay.
And the Vice Chancellor. Let's come for Vice Chancellor. Come for and yeah. Let them come.
Okay. All right. Tate Masilela, you can come. Okay. Yeah. We can assign someone to can just hand them over, but it will be befitting that we hand them over once we are done. And so, yeah, over to you to can just demonstrate. Yes.
You must come here and demonstrate.
Yes.
A petty lasts for the longest time. I'll explain just now. So, it's a personal and a key holder. Key holder. In case you're in trouble, you pull it out. Let's pull out.
What do you put?
And you put it back.
Pull it back.
Yeah. Okay. So this is how it happens. For students in the room, as you sleep, put it in the door, and making sure that this is tight on the door. If somebody push the door, it takes this thing out and make noise. So it attracts their attention.
So you make this tight?
Yes.
So the door is...
So this one will be on there when you take the handle. When it opens, that comes out. Okay. And then also you put it in the bag, ladies' bag, but you make sure that this part you put it to you like this. So it's the whole thing is in the bag. If they take the bag, this will come out. And it makes that noise. So yeah, it's a personal alarm. Battery life, depending on how you utilize, but it takes about 2 years, depending on how. Yeah. It's normally. Yes. So that's your personal alarm, and then obviously I'm not sure they have shown the panic button. Okay, panic button is almost similar
Can we
to
pay
that,
attention?
but it's
Yeah, but you must speak here.
Oh, I must speak here. Okay. So the panic button is almost the same. The difference is that
Yeah, but you must show to the audience.
oh, and then you okay, it is chargeable. Obviously, it is a electrical charger, but you press and hold. Okay. In trouble, you press this one and hold. So it will go to there's it. So that message will go to anyone that is programmed on this onto the panic in your cell phone. So even if your cell phone is taken, you left the button, you can still use that. So it's not only the app on the phone, because it links with the app on the phone.
So you must just download the app
The
on the
app,
phone.
yes.
On the phone. But even if they take the phone, you're left with this. As long as it's activated, your phone and this, it will still work.
This one, where does it go?
Now, this is just a deterrent that attracts some attention. Yeah, yeah. Hence, it's called the personal alarm. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
How many did you bring?
Yes, a lot.
Okay, how you gonna give it to
Yes, I'm gonna give it to Vasily. Yeah.
So I do believe that this is a gadget for the campus safety initiative. Let's give CPF a round of applause. And I do believe that it will spread and find our homes, our community at large, and they'll be able to can utilize this gadget so that we are able to can assist. I see here that we have two gentlemen who are signing. If you can sensitize me as to who they are, and then we can wrap up. Okay.
Co-program director, I was hoping you don't see that. That's why I wanted them to sign while you're still busy.
Okay.
I've got organized labor and our SRC outgoing president signing also. Yes.
Let's give them a round of applause. And thank you for gracing us. I know maybe you've been caught up with other duties, but it is of the utmost importance that you are here, and we thank you for the support. Thank you very much. Wow, I must say, now it is time for us to can just wrap up with the program. But before I do that, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to call our senior police officer here in Tshwane, the sunny Tshwane, hot Tshwane, Major General S. Tine, to can do a vote of thanks. And let's give him a tremendous round of applause.
Greetings to all. Thank you, Program Director, for allowing me the opportunity. Baba raising Motswane, they say Tswane ya Tswanelwa. Yeah, we're smart. Let me acknowledge the presence of the Vice Chancellor, VC Ramsing, our Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Ntombeni, our Divisional Commissioner, Lieutenant General Mamteti, the Acting Divisional Commissioner, HRD, Major General Chauke, the Station Commander of Harangua, Brigadier Nkosi, all officers present, members, senior officers, community members present, students, I know they are busy, members of the media, internal and external, I greet you all. For me, is to deliver the vote of thanks. Allow me to quote Khalil Gibran when the writer says, I open quote, "Safeguarding the rights of others is the most noble and beautiful end of a human being," close quote. I think it was a utopian statement that prompted to say, by this day, we will be launching the campus safety, of which is giving rise to the safety of all of us, whether inside the campus or outside the campus. In that note, I would like to thank the program directors, Constable Nkumise, Mr. Mahlaba, for running the program professionally. We thank you very much. Let me thank the VC for opening and welcoming us and alluding to the fact that the SMU is the best health science university in the continent, and I really believe that. Also emphasizing on the campus safety launching and to emphasize the preventative measures in ensuring that the learning and research takes place in the protected environment. Of course, Chaplain Maema for opening. We really appreciate your presence and the prayers. Let me thank Lieutenant General Mamuteti. We thank you, General, for taking time out of your busy schedule there in head office to come to us and for unpacking the purpose of and the mandate for establishing the campus safety, emphasizing integrated approach in preventing crime through partnerships, also indicating the ICVPS, of which is the Integrated Crime Violence Prevention Strategy, the youth program strategies, awareness in terms of GBV and addressing it, and also the drugs master plan. Professor Macha Erasmus, we thank you very much for alluding to the fact that this institution is inexistent and produce best health science healers in the world. You did allude to the fact that the scourge and the prevention of GBV, especially protecting women, is a need, and we need to strengthen the partnership and prevent femicide. All that those who delivered the message of support in support to the implementation of the campus strategy, all that we were talking about is integration and collaboration. From Department of Higher Education and Learning, Deputy Director Major, we thank you very much, and to say we must know who is there and who's doing what. From the CPF Board Chairperson, Ntate Masilela, we really appreciate and thank you. And you indicated one important thing to say, we don't want to engage where the fire is burning, and we need to strengthen the collaborative strategies. From the Youth Crime Prevention, Mr. Ngobeni, we really appreciate. And for the commitment that you indicated to say, we really need to implement the strategies. And to the fact that, during festive season, that is where we see the number of GBV cases going up, and we need to strengthen our collaborative efforts. Deputy Director Satere, moving forward, me and you and the station commander, Harankua, we are together, and we will be working together in ensuring that the campus is safe. All stakeholders who signed the pledge, we really, really appreciate. We thank you very much. to our Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General D.T. Mtombeni. We really thank you, General, for taking time in your busy schedule. I know you are very, very busy to come and deliver the keynote address and reiterating that the crime poses a significant threat to learning within our campuses and the environment, and alluding to the country's social ills, challenges, and that there is a need to give attention to it in order to achieve excellence. And also the technologies that are at our disposal that can assist us in preventing crime and assist us that we are recognized. To the management of SMU, we really appreciate for allowing us to come and launch the campus safety and in collaborative efforts to say, let's work together. And to the LOC that planned the event from the start and the creation, crafting of the strategy, we really appreciate and we say thank you very much. I thank you.
It has truly been a beautiful 2 days. My co-program director, what do you think?
Of course.
Of course.
We enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah. Motsana wa Garankuwa, ketapelo ya Sefako Makgatho Health Sciences University, ketapelo ya Sepodisi, batlhomphegi ba etapele ba rona ka ditulo tsa go fapafapana. Re a leboga. It has truly been an engaging and an insightful 2 days, and we hope that when we leave here, the engagement does not end. Our doors are opened. Dimja ga di a bofiwa, mara ga di lomi. You are welcome to come back and give feedback. I hope you travel home safe, and I thank you for being with us over the past 2 days. Sir?
Of course. Ke ena re nkhumise. Honored to have run this program, and thank you very much to my seniors for entrusting me with this program. I'll forever be indebted. But if there's anyone who has stepped on their toes, please come to me. I have an ointment to Kensima. But with that being said, it is signed, sealed, and delivered. I will now hand over to my beautiful lady to can give us announcements as to how we are going to eat. Over to you, my lady. Thank you very much.